Hello, everybody. Hi. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Daily Antidote of Song. Always great to see so many smiling, beautiful faces coming into this room as we embark on our 2030, oh, who knows, 2132nd, I think, but you never ever know. 2132. Yeah, there's Carolyn with a cue card for me. Thank you so much. And that is consecutive days of singing. So for anybody who's new to us today, here in this Zoom room or out there on the live stream, we've been singing in community now for 6+ years. 2000 is a lot of days. And we're glad you've decided to join us today, whether for the first time or whether you're here a lot. And we do, of course, hope you'll keep coming back and singing with us. It is always a way of coming together and reflecting on where we are on any given moment. And I would like everybody to please help me wave hello to everybody out there on the live stream. Hello, gang on YouTube, and hello, gang on Facebook. We're really glad you've joined us today. And of course, a big hello to everybody here in this Zoom room. Everybody take a minute and wave to everybody else's face in here. Hello, all these beautiful faces. So where we are today, according to this room, is we are in Washington, D.C., we are in Wales, we're in Philadelphia, we're in Ohio, Florida, Idaho, the UK, British Columbia. We've got a great circle of people here, and we're so glad you guys are here. So we are really blessed today to have singing with us and for us Liz Ikamba, who's coming in from Wales, who is a regular host and song leader here in the Daily Antidote, and more increasingly a regular host. And it's so incredible to be getting to know her in a brand new way rather than just singing with her sometimes. Liz is a British Congolese multidisciplinary artist and facilitator. And she has brought us a lot of tremendously beautiful, uplifting songs in here before, as well as deeply thoughtful songs. And today is no different. Can everybody please help me wave hello to Liz? Hello, Liz. And Liz, we would really love to start learning and singing with that first song that you have today.
Fabulous. Okay, so nice to be back in the room with you today, this time bringing you some lovely music. So, we're going to do a Muse song, which I'm sure many of you will know, called We Shall Be Known. Yeah, I can see a few affirming. So I'll focus on teaching you the chorus, and then if you know it already, you'll be able to join in with the other parts. We'll focus on the main melody, and I'm going to also bring in a recording that has a harmony part. So if you feel confident and you want to join in with that as well, then do join in with whatever bit you like. So the words are there. It goes like that. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. Let's try that together. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. So you've got a little well at the end there. Let's try that second line. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. Let's try those two first lines together from the top. 2, 3. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. Beautiful. Third line. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. So you've got a, and what a time. Yeah, descending there down the scale. Let's try that third line. 2, 3. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. So you can see that that line goes directly into the next line. So let's go back to the third line and go straight into that in this great turning. Okay, so from it is time now. 2, 3. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Yeah? Let's try the whole chorus together, shall we? From the top. 2, 3. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. And there is like a bit of a pause before it comes in again, so you'll hear the pauses rather than me kind of count them and go through them now. There's some funny little pauses. So let's do the chorus again, and let's do it gently now and just see if we can kind of take a really nice deep belly breath and just gift it to our bodies. Yeah? 2, 3. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Right, we're going to try it together and we're going to add a harmony and it's going to be great. Feel free to add whatever you like. Here we go. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. Chorus. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. From the top. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these. Maybe let's bring some percussion in. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. Chorus. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in little gap love. From the top. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. Chorus. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Gentle one. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. Chorus. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Last two lines. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. Yes.
Ooh, what a super powerful song. Thank you so much, Liz, for bringing that to us today. We were talking during sound check. We sung that once, only once here in this room before, and it was all the way back in 2021. I'm not sure, but I think that Phil Hogg, who's actually in the room with us today, as a listener, was the song leader that day and led us in that. But also we've had Muse in this space. They're just exquisite, and I feel so lucky for the ways that these songs sort of circle around and cycle back in and out of our lives, kind of when we need them. And you mentioned that you sort of moved towards this song after hosting yesterday. You want to tell us a little bit about sort of how your evolution came?
Yeah, I was hosting Sarah Golden yesterday, and I thought she was just incredible. It also kind of just led me to really feeling into just how heavy the global and political situation is, you know, what you guys are going through there in the US and what's getting kind of ping-ponged and deflected around as well as a general kind of like fear-based tendency. And this song came to me, and that just that first line, we shall be known by the company we keep, and remembering that community is one of our, if not our biggest strength, you know, as a humanity, and to remind us that we don't need to stay in that state, you know, and just to remember to come back to our humanity. So yeah, it just felt like a really lovely one to bring today, and it's nice and vibrant and uplifting. And I just love the harmonies as well, like Muse, like you say, incredible. And yeah, what a treat that you've had them in the room here as well.
Yeah, that's great. So, I really love also, so there's that idea of community and who we surround ourselves with. That feels so key and important. But I also love right now that idea that we're learning to lead in love, because obviously, culturally, globally, it doesn't feel like there's love leading when we look in a lot of different directions. But then we look in other directions, Minneapolis and or the music that's being brought in here, and we can see the way that folks are pointing back to or trying so hard to shift to the notions of hope and unity and love, despite whatever might be hammering down on us from above. So you are so I know you're so activist in so many ways, and can you tell us a little bit about sort of how you're doing right now in this world and how you're kind of getting through the day to day, basically?
That's a very good question, especially with it being February. I mean, this week, for example, I was reminded of the Celtic calendar and wheel, and of Imbolc. And Imbolc being the festival and celebration that is supposed to be the first stirrings of spring on the 1st of February. And although it might not feel like it, you've got like deep underground, that energy is starting to rise, you know, and we forget, like, the Celtic wheel focuses much more on a lunisolar cycle, and the natural seasons, the natural cycles, the seasons, and the agricultural cycles as well. And the Gregorian calendar, obviously, that we tend to go by, kind of shuts a lot of that out. So we're disconnected in that way. So I think just remembering actually that nature itself is such a great teacher. I'm really honoured at the moment to have moved from my long-time home in Brighton, which is more of an urban space, to mid Wales, somewhere much more rural and remote, and that has its own challenges. But I'm reminded, you know, waking up in the morning, I've got this incredible mountain opposite me, I've got these trees and the birds, and I can just go out, you know, give them a little bit of seed as well, and remember that cyclical thing of like giving back, you know, which is what we're seeing in places like Minnesota now. People are getting themselves trained up, getting you know, active in figuring out what they can do, because it's so easy to feel hopeless and powerless. But actually, that is our biggest power, I think, is that ability to transform a situation. Regardless of what the external conditions are, we can choose what state we come into that situation with, or whatever situation we're in.
Mhm.
That's the choice that we have, and that's what can transform the world, I believe, if
That's
we stay with that.
beautiful. Liz, thank you so much. I love it. Like, in a way, it's funny because you were saying nature is a great teacher. And I feel like nature is also, like the clock and the calendar, really. Because, we can write whatever we want on a piece of paper about whether today is the first day of winter or the last day of spring or whatever we want. But nature is going to tell us both what time it is and what day it is. And we can choose to sort of be focused on what we think we're supposed to be, or what we think, or we can be right wherever it is that she is putting us, which is a way in which we can also be in the way the world is putting us, right? Like, we can come into the
Mm,
world wherever it is, and then we can choose, as you're saying, how to respond, right? So
mm,
I could sit outside and say, it says it's spring, where are the crocuses? Or I could go out and admire the winter, right? That is still around us. And so likewise, I feel like we do really, I think, need to continuously decide to choose to live in with our best selves and our best hope and our best love and our, yeah, it's a
yeah.
way.
I
Yeah.
think, like, from a personal perspective, if nothing else, that is just the way that I prefer to live my everyday existence. I would prefer to trust in something positive. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, totally.
Regardless of what's about to come, because that
Mhm.
puts me in a better state for my family, for my friends, for the people that are immediately around me as well.
Mhm.
So it's how we show up, and that's what my trauma informed practice training really took me through as well. There's so many people, well intentioned people with such big hearts, that are going into caring professions and service professions, or roles within the community, or just mothers. It doesn't have to be a profession as such, because that's not considered a profession, but I'd say it's one of
Mhm.
the top hard working roles that you can take up. But we forget that it's how we show up in a space as practitioners that will also
Mm.
affect that space,
Yeah.
the energy in that space, the potentials for connection, or because our nervous systems, our hearts are reading each other for signs of safety all the time. If we're in a room together singing, or with a group of people, and co-regulating, our heart rates and electromagnetic fields start synchronizing. Like, science is starting to feed back on this now and say this is a real thing. And like, there's people that have been in certain cultures, or situations for years or centuries, being like, yeah, you guys are just catching up with this. you know
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Thank you, Liz. Yeah. So I want to just also say, like you said, motherhood being like one of the hardest working professions, but I feel like right now it's really easy to look around the world also and see how motherhood is really one of the most impactful professions. But I'm going to add in there not just motherhood, but mentoring. Like the things that we do with the younger people to help them develop their own moral and value system that might make less war and more peace, less division and more unity, right? Like it is the humans that are
mm,
creating the world, right? And we are
mm,
all impacting how those humans are created. And
mm.
yeah, so the work you're doing is amazing. Do you want to just talk quickly about the new project that you have coming up?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. At the moment, I'm going for funding, but also piloting this idea that I've had for a while. It's been cooking for a little while now. It's called Diaspora Stories, and it's a multidisciplinary collaborative project where I'm going to be working with artists from different mediums, whether it's music or dance or visual. And we're basically looking at the migration, the evolution, and the fusion of music and culture from across the African diaspora, just how music and culture travels, fuses, evolves, and my particular interest with being dual heritage, Congolese and British. just seeing the journey of, say, Congolese music, and how there's like a genre of music that is my favorite in Congo, that is Congo rumba or soukous, which some of you will probably know. And the way that that developed in Congo was through the Cuban radio being played in Kinshasa, and then that becomes a whole other thread, and then it goes somewhere else, So I'm really intrigued to like work with other artists with their own experience in terms of heritage and identity, migration, and have it as like a multi-arts kind of storytelling piece, just a platform for people to tell their stories. Yeah.
Beautiful. Amazing, amazing. It would actually be like a really cool thing to do in the daily, where we have some time where we focus on those songs that have traveled, the ones we can track, right? How we can see it here in this form and then see it over here on the other side of an ocean in another form, and we know it's the same song. And I love that stuff. I think that's, so incredible, and it's so unifying also, right?
Mm.
These songs that travel from culture to country, and yeah. Liz, that project sounds amazing. I can't wait to hear more about it as you are working through it, and good luck with all the granting. And
Thank
I
you.
think you have a second song for us today. Is that right?
I do. I've
Yeah,
got a
let's do it.
beautiful song by a friend of mine, Lushka Mengum, here in the UK. I'm just going to get it up on my speaker thing here. It's called Rest Here, and you've got the lyrics there. Rest here with your ancestors. Just say that with me. Rest here with your ancestors. Call to them as the earth grows cold, and call to them as the earth grows cold, and deep within as the high tide she rolls in again. Deep within as the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that rest here. Yeah, so you've got bones, bringing home the bones that, and it basically loops itself round. So the timing of this one is a little bit tricky. It's quite a kind of got quite like an old folk kind of feel to it. I think let's say it again, but in the rhythm that we're going to sing it, because that's going to help us, I think. So it's like that. Rest here with your ancestors. You'll go. Rest here with your ancestors. Call to them as the earth grows cold, and call to them as the earth grows cold, and deep within as the high tide she rolls, deep within as the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that in again, bringing home the bones that rest here with your ancestors, rest here with your ancestors. Call to them as the earth grows cold, and call to them as the earth grows cold, and deep within as the high tide she rolls, deep within as the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that in again, bringing home the bones that. Make sense? Sorry, I did write it a little bit weird there. That's why that last line got a little bit like tongue-tied. But anyway, let's try it with the melody now. And I'm going to add a harmony at some point on my little recording here. But again, feel free to make it your own. Take it where it wants to go. Let the ancestors guide you. What do they want to sing today? Okay, so the melody. Let me just get my note here from the recording. So we're going to start here. Rest here with your ancestors. You'll go. Rest here with your ancestors. Call to them as the earth grows cold, and you'll go. Call to them as the earth grows cold, and deep within as the high tide she rolls, deep within as the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that, you'll go, in again, bringing home the bones that. We're going to do that again. Rested with your ancestors. You'll go. Rested with your ancestors. Call to them as the earth grows cold, and call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that in again, bringing home the bones that. Hopefully we've got, how does that feel? Can I have a show of hands if we're like feeling a little bit? Yeah, okay, so let's try it. We're going to try it just a few times with the recording. Let's go. With your ancestors, call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that rested. With your ancestors, call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that rested. With your ancestors, call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home bringing in a harmony that rested. With your ancestors, call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that rested. With your ancestors, call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that rested. With your ancestors, call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home one more time the bones that rested. With your ancestors, call to them as the earth grows cold and deep within. As the high tide she rolls in again, bringing home the bones that rested. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Liz. And how nice to end with a great laugh from you. Just, yeah, that joy from finishing a song and singing it well and seeing all the faces singing, right? It's very, very moving and loving and encompassing. And everybody, can we please give Liz, oh, everybody, let's wave to William over there in the UK. Hello, William. We're thinking of you lots and lots, and we love you very much. William, we love you. We love you very much. Thank you for being in this daily Antidote of song and singing with us all these years. It has been a blessing to know you and to see you in here. All right, so let's all thank Liz one more time. Thank you so much, Liz, for singing those two beautiful songs with us. It is really funny that you chose to sing a song that actually Phil is the one who brought to us for the first time. So that's a nice little circle also that I love. And so we want to thank Mom Muse for that beautiful song. And who was the name of the person who sang this, who wrote the second one?
So it's a gorgeous friend of mine called Lushka Mangum here in the
Lushka
UK.
Mangum, we're also thanking you for that beautiful song. And Liz, thanks for all you do here in the Daily Antidote song, both musically and hostingly, if that's a word. It is now. And So we'll take a quick sec just to talk about what we're doing for the rest of this week in case anybody is either new to us or joining us irregularly. On Monday the 2nd, we sang Ukrainian songs with Nadia Tarnowski. She came in from Ohio. It was a really great day with a lot of sort of history and culture embedded in what she talked about. So totally recommend you go back and listen. Claire Wellen on Tuesday, very strong singing day, very strong activism day. She was new to us coming in out of New York. And also Sarah Golden, new to us out of Texas, with another really strong activism and action day. So both Tuesday and Wednesday, great to revisit if you missed them. Thursday, today, we have been blessed to sing with Liz Ikamba. Love it. Thanks for being here, Liz. Tomorrow, we are singing with another new friend. Ibil is joining us out of Nashville. And on Saturday, we are, in fact, going to have Magpie singing with us, and there will be a few surprises built around it. So please join us on Saturday to see what we've cooked up. And on Sunday, the 8th, we're going to sing with another new friend, Nora Jane Struthers. She'll be hosted by her friend, Elise Witt. And Nora will be coming in out of Nashville, Elise out of Georgia. And so we welcome everybody to join us for the whole rest of the week for more of the magic that we managed to create in here, 2,132 some odd days after another. Everybody, one more big thank you to Liz. Thank you, Liz. And everybody, one big wave to everybody out there on the live stream. Thank you, live stream. All right, so everybody out there on the live stream, we can't wait to see you tomorrow right here on the Daily Antidote song. Ciao and lots of love, everybody.